Hello people, I'm Sky Demolisher and welcome back to part 6 of our Transformers War for Cybertron Let's Play. Today's episode will be Defend Iacon, the very first episode of the Autobots campaign. And following what I did last week, I've decided to do it again, so you're getting the voiceover voice. The Autobots' capital city Iacon lies in ruins. Their leader, Zeta Prime, has been defeated. Led by an Autobot named Optimus, they must repel the Decepticons until a plan can be made. And as voted by you guys, we are playing as Optimus.
Iacon, the capital city of the Autobots, is crumbling under the onslaught of Megatron and his Decepticons. Rumors have spread of the defeat of Omega Supreme and Autobot leader Zeta Prime. If the Autobots have any hope to band together and repel the enemy, a new hero must emerge.
You're a skilled fighter, but you shouldn't be out here alone. Autobots are no longer safe in Iacon.
The Decepticons control the airwaves. The only secure way to communicate is by messenger. I volunteered. Name's Bumblebee.
Ratchet, this Autobot needs repairs.
Be still. I'll get you fixed up.
What? No, there's no time! I need to find the Autobot called Optimus. I have important information for him.
I am Optimus.
You're... Sir, it pains me to tell you this, but our leader, Zeta Prime, is dead.
Megatron.
What of the High Council?
They've gone into hiding, cut all communication with the outside. Optimus, with Zeta Prime gone, our forces are directionless, ineffective.
The Council will emerge when it's safer. In the meantime, Ratchet, Bumblebee, you're with me.
Megatron is determined, I'll give him that. He means to see Iacon destroyed.
Not destroyed, Ratchet. Simply taken. He knows we are at our weakest with Zeta Prime gone.
Megatron can take this city over my twisted, lifeless shell.
We'd prefer no further loss of life, Bumblebee.
Focus on the task at hand, Autobots.
To any Autobots on this frequency, this is Jetfire. Come in.
Jetfire, this is Optimus. Glad you're still airborne. What's your status?
We're taking heavy damage up here. Put me through to Zeta Prime. We need him to activate the planetary guns.
Zeta Prime is dead.
He's dead. What are we going to do?
I have assumed temporary command, Jetfire. Let the rest of your flight squadrons know. And don't worry, we'll get those guns online.
Temporary command?
Not now, Ratchet. Jetfire needs those guns online.
So, that was Jetfire, who we saw earlier in the Decepticon campaign. And as we got to see him transform there, you'll actually notice if you watch the original cartoon from the 80s, that his Cybertronian jet mode is fairly similar to the jet mode he had in the TV series. And the other thing I'll note is that where the opening crawl of this talked about somebody emerging.
Heads up! That warship's coming in pretty hot! Take cover!
Sorry, I just thought you might like it if I stopped for the drama of that crash there. the opening crawl, talking about a new leader emerging, is a nod to the Transformers film, where we see a injured Optimus Prime. I'll just interject here, where that thing is there, that revive thing, that's one of the achievements for this game. There's, I think, 5 Autobots that get downed in this that you need to revive and pick up. I've not got that achievement, not because of that guy. That guy is one of the easier ones to get. There's one later on that is over sort of like a set of fan jumps, and I've never had the timing right to get to him, so I've never actually finished it. Anyway, as I was saying, it's a hark back to, or a nod to the film, where we see Prime lying on a table, I guess. Oh. Decepticons interrupting me while I'm trying to tell you a story. Oh, whoops. I actually meant to swap to my other gun, not use the shotgun. Yeah, sorry. Where we see Prime lying on a... I guess it's meant to be like a hospital bed. And, Perceptor is in his... microscope mode? His alternate mode, which I'm pretty sure was a microscope, which was very weird for a Transformer to turn into, Anyway, you get Perceptor transform and the "I fear the wounds are fatal," which is followed by I think it's Daniel doing the "You can't die," like any little kid, because you don't want to see your hero die. And Optimus is all like, "Do not grieve. Soon I shall be one with the Matrix. Ultra Magnus, it is to you. I shall pass the Matrix as it was passed to me. Prime, I'm not worthy. I'm just a soldier. Nor was I. But one day an Autobot will rise from our ranks and use the power of the Matrix to light our darkest hour." Now, as an adult listening to that line, I couldn't help but feel like he's kind of giving shit to Magnus there, because one day an Autobot will rise from our ranks. Well, who said it wasn't going to be... Whoops. Facing the wrong way. Who said it wouldn't be Magnus that lit the darkest hour? And of course, I believe he thought that, because he tried using it against Galvatron and it failed. And of course, it turned out that the one that would light the darkest hour was Hot Rod, and he became Rodimus Prime. And he was pretty much not a very good leader. And I think that that's because it's very hard to follow in the footsteps of Optimus Prime. And it's kind of amusing that at the moment Bumblebee is trying to walk, but yeah, not going anywhere. If he was going backwards, then you could say he was moonwalking, but of course this takes place like millions of years before they crashed on Earth, if you follow the original cartoon. So yeah, it would mean that he originated the moonwalk and not Michael Jackson. I still don't know why I'm so, like, I don't want to say hellbent, but kind of hellbent and interested in collecting that stuff, even though I don't remember what it does anymore. It's interesting that it turned me around when I transformed. Or it turned him around to follow. Whoop. Now if I'm lucky... Oh no. I don't need repairs at the moment, so... You miss Ratchet doing his whole... repair ray thing.
Hey, Primus, you're here!
Well, you're not. Not anymore. Why do they always follow me, man? I guess it's like red to a bull, even though that's not actually a thing. You know, a lot of people seem to think it's still a thing. Oh, cool. Repair centre.
The automated repair systems are still... That's a good
But yeah,
sign.
it's not actually a thing. Bulls really aren't annoyed by the colour red or anything.
Autobots,
I actually
onto the
think
left.
that they can't see colour anyway, so they don't particularly care what colour you're wearing. The thing that makes a bull charge is movement. So they're annoyed by the movement of the... Was it a Matador's flag? Oh no. So, the Decepticons were in part of Cybertron that had emergency brakes. We Autobots must have just let it go to wrong, because there was no emergency brakes there. I mean, where's health and safety in this world? I mean, we're meant... Whoa, he went flying.
Quickly.
And they are...
Move back
Is
now!
that thing, Ratchet?
What's your head?
I'm reading a massive surge of...
Free us!
dark energon.
There was nothing we could do, Bumblebee. One Decepticon perforated.
Jeez. My shot seemed to be a bit skewed off today.
Optimus, this is Jetfire. Do you copy? You got a squadron of Decepticon Seekers headed your way. I couldn't stop them all.
Roger that.
Thought you could hide from me. I'm a future prime. You can't beat me. Come to think of it, I think there was... I vaguely want to say one of the... Yeah, revive people is over here. And this is all you have to do to revive them. So at least that shows you where two are. Ah, yes. I will most definitely grab that, because...
This will cause some trouble.
yes, it will. And if it doesn't, I'll cause the trouble. Now, oh, I really can't turn it so you can see it. But, he's still a truck in this. I mean, it's not a, you know, was it like a semi-truck or something? I don't actually know what his original truck form was. I just know that it was like a, was it engine over cab. Sorry, cab over engine. Engine over cab. That would mean it was above the cab. And I don't think people would want to sit below an engine. Things get very, very, very hot when they're in use. Which I guess really goes back to what I was saying in previous episodes, that we should be aware of our surroundings and, you know, we should do our best to take the very best of care.
Optimus, inbound Decepticon seekers. I think you can take them out with the gun emplacements.
Understood, Jetfire. Autobots, man the turrets.
I still really love these turrets though. I mean, they make very short work of what you're shooting at. And they certainly make you like ultra overpowered. But they're just fun. What is?
Fire on that ship, Autobots.
Oh, that is. Oh, your pretty little toy did not survive. See ya! Of course, in a way, that's kind of dumb, isn't it? Because, like, you've just trashed more of the city.
Nice shooting, Optimus. Air Raid and I have control of the skies now.
No, I don't.
Thanks, Jetfire. We need to get to the Decagon fast. Are the Iacon speedways still drivable?
From the sky, they look barely usable, but you can try.
See, there he is.
Good
I
luck,
mean, he even
Optimus.
looks like his
Zeta
G1
Prime gone.
counterpart.
We're all looking to you now.
I'll do my best.
I can't say I've ever noticed those things before this. Oh. I guess they're just part of spires. And that one's broken, so it's a little orb is gone. I was going to call it a bobble, but it's not really a bobble. You know, it doesn't bobble around. Yeah, right. I really wish you could transform and take those things with you. Because you feel bad for those guys, you know, waiting for you to slowly drag your ass into where it's meant to go. I don't know if that was a Decepticon or that was an Autobot. I think that was an Autobot. Where am I going? Already showing my mailed map. I don't need a map. I know exactly where I'm going. Even if I don't, I know where I'm going. It's a shortcut, I assure you.
Initiating weapon cooling.
God knows why we do it, eh? Just cannot concede defeat at needing directions to wherever the hell we're going.
Oh no! Was that Soundwave?
Yes, it was.
Optimus, that was Soundwave.
And I certainly appreciated that, that they used that for Soundwave's voice and stuff. So we didn't get, I'll just pause a moment because hopefully, yeah, that will keep it quiet enough. You know, because in the movies you had that, for the cell phone thing, that, where is the boy? Where is the Allspark? And I'm not entirely sure if that will actually be picked up by the microphone or not, but if not, it just seems like I just weirdly did something. And if it did work, well, hopefully it sounded close enough to the weirdness of the film, where he kind of just ends up sounding like a pervert.
Damage report. Is anyone hurt?
Nothing you can't fix.
Bumblebee, it wouldn't kill you to exercise caution.
Well, I mean, I could use a bit of health. Oh, poor guy. Yet it kind of looks like he's waving. Hi! I mean, I know you're dead, but... Hello! Oh, you're not dead though. You're alive. Partially crushed. Oh. I was going to say he's missing his head, but he's actually not. I think he's just dead. He's dead. Where am I going? Over here. Oh. You know, in a way, if you didn't know he was facing me at the moment, and he came off on like that kind of angle, it kind of looks like there is his chest, and he's in a corner heaving up his guts because he's drunk. That's never really a good thing. Well, hello.
Heads up, Autobots. Snipers.
We'll push him out, Optimus!
I mean, oh, yeah, there's another one down there. Will we get to him in time? Well, we got there, but we didn't quite get the X pressed at the right time. I know someone else shooting, because I heard him shoot. Yeah. Oh, well. Oh, wait, there we go. He's above me. No, I suspect he's actually above us again. So blowing up those things isn't going to help. Let's see. Yep, there is. Some are up there. But not quite within our sight yet. Oh, thank you. There he is. And there he goes. Not much of a sniper, but much better than a donkey. Of course, if you didn't know, Peter Cullen did the voice of Eeyore as well. Not all the time. I believe in the latest film, which is called like Christopher Robin or something. I don't have children, so I don't really pay attention to kids' films. But I believe he's been replaced in that film by Brad. I think it's Brad Garrett, the brother in Everybody Loves Raymond, that had the really sort of deep voice, which interestingly enough, I think I actually said in another episode, he was the
Rejoice, citizens of Iacon. Your new ruler.
the giant floating head.
No longer will you be plagued by the burdens of freedom and
So now you know
choice.
where Rick and Morty got it.
Henceforth, my will is the only guidance you shall require. Embrace the Decepticon way and reap its rewards, or resist and face destruction.
So they've even kept his face close to the original cartoon face. And of course close to the face that would be used in Prime. Anyway, I was saying, pretty sure his name was Brad Garrett. And he was the voice actor for Trypticon in the original cartoon series. That's Soundwave, by the way.
Alert. Autobots detected.
You'd think he would have realised that quicker though, wouldn't you?
More Autobots to destroy! My weapons need to cool off.
Will that blow up and kill him? No, it will not, but that one will. If he's still standing there. See?
Necessity. Right between the
Weapons overheated!
And, I should have talked about that as well. That Prime has an axe as his hand-to-hand combat weapon.
Optimus, this is Ironhide. There's a huge faction of Decepticons massing outside the Decagon's
Interestingly
Take out as many as you can.
enough,
I need a pathway cleared.
Understood. And Optimus, glad to see you finally stepped
he
up.
actually had an Energon axe as a combat weapon at the start of the original series. We don't really see it again after the battle on Sherman Dam. but he was always capable of doing it, much like Megatron had a Morning Star, which of course in this gets replaced by a
Megatron has somehow found a way to weaponize Dark Energon.
a mace.
Dark Energon is the source of these crystals.
Yeah.
I've read the stories, but to see it for real.
And then the voice that we heard before, Ironhide, he in the original series he was also voiced by Peter Cullen. So Optimus and Ironhide were voiced by the exact same person, and yet sound slightly different enough to make you think that they've actually got like different voices.
A Decepticon war machine. I've seen these in the archives. They're used to dispense Dark Energon.
I mean, like, where Prime had sort of like, I want to say kind of like a John Wayne thing, but I don't really think it was a John Wayne thing.
Shoot its lights out.
Ironhide definitely had that, the Western cowboy sound. Leaking lubricant. I remember the time on Cybertron. Brazilian, followed by the
Aim for the chest. Aim for the chest.
Save the war stories, Hotshot. Remember, there's a thin line between being a hero and being a memory. And that's actually a very valuable line too. It's a very good line. Because it's very true. There is a very thin line between being a hero and being a memory. And you really should think what you're doing through
Autobots to the Decagon.
before you do it, you know. I do believe that the reason that Peter Cullen did Optimus Prime's voice like he did was because, whoops, get caught up there, his brother was a soldier, and before he went for the interview to be picked up as Prime, his brother told him, you know, like, don't play him as a, you know, like an all-out, at no cost type hero that would sacrifice, you know, like, that would sacrifice themselves stupidly. Of course, Prime would sacrifice himself for the greater good of other living beings, because, you know, like he had the... Actually, I think it was his toy sort of bio quote was that freedom is the right of all sentient beings. And there were certainly points in the cartoons and the films that he sacrificed himself for people that others probably wouldn't.
Blast the spikes, but never touch
But
them. Transform and roll
yeah,
out.
I think Peter Cullen did do a very good job at portraying a hero that wasn't, you know, like, at any cost. He wouldn't sacrifice somebody else to, you know, to save the day. I guess there's some more around here somewhere.
Very good.
I suppose, you know, when you think about it in life, we should be careful about the actions we take in life, because they can impact people a lot more than what we would think they do. You know, like the other day I was reading a small piece about somebody that had commented that they knew somebody that when they were growing up, somebody had sort of said something that was meant to be kind of like polite or slightly impolite but without being rude, that, you know, like the sort of thing that's like when you smile your eyes go like squinty sort of thing, and you know, like most people would brush it off, but comments like that for some people actually sort of start to sink in, and then they won't want to smile as, you know. I suppose a better example would have been, say, like Austin Powers in the first Austin Powers film. I don't know what the hell's shooting at. Something was shooting us. I missed it. You know, like, because Austin had very messed up teeth. And in, you know, in his day, it was fine to have teeth like that, but later standards, you know, changed. So, you know, like what we've got today, you know, white teeth and that sort of stuff. Even though white teeth aren't actually a natural thing, our teeth naturally should be a sort of yellowish colour anyway. So, you know, like, people will take on an impolite comment like that, and then they'll stop smiling, or, you know, they start getting self-conscious, and that's really, really bad. I mean, personally, I was somebody that got put down a lot because I've got red hair and stuff, and I was a very skinny, I was a skinny kid. I wasn't as a like a toddler. As a toddler, I was sort of like this. I was like a I don't know. I want to say like the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man. I was very sort of like chunky, cuddly looking Ewok thing, which is a really horrible way to explain myself. But you know, people would mock me because of how thin I was and that sort of stuff. And it led to years where, like, I wouldn't let people see me without a top on or in long sleeves, and, you know, like always wearing jeans or something, things that covered my legs and covered my arms and they covered my chest, and I didn't want to get changed around other people because I was so self-conscious about them. And all of that was because of how people had treated me. And of course, you know, being a redhead, I think until Ed Sheeran came along, it was really an unacceptable thing, you know. It wasn't cool to be ginger, or a ginger, or to Australians a ranger.
Still working on clearing that path for you, Optimus. These Decepticons are really stubborn.
Yeah,
Be advised, I've got some defenders
that's a very
near
long
position,
tangent,
engaging some Decepticon war
you know,
machines.
completely away from the game. But I think it's valuable to talk about those sort of things. Ah, awesome. Grenades at last. There was probably grenades at some other point, and I walked past them. We all know I'm not the most observant of people. I mean, in that episode with the Seekers, I mentioned that I think it was Skywalk wasn't anywhere near me. He was ahead, and actually he was in the frame of the shot as I said that. So he was actually most definitely exactly where I said he wasn't. Dance! I love that, I want to say like a frying pan sound, you know, when you brain pan someone in this. For those that don't understand that term, brain pan means shooting somebody in the head, because that's where your brain pan is. And for the most part, a shot to the head is fatal, regardless of what you are. Well, actually I should probably rephrase it. A shot through the brain is normally fatal. Just because you shoot something in the head doesn't necessarily mean its brain is actually there. Or in the case of jellyfish, I don't think they actually have brains anyway. At the moment I'm kind of imagining what it would be like if there was some nutcase out there that actually went out to the ocean, just to shoot jellyfish in what they term the head, just to see what happens. Which you really shouldn't do, because that's animal cruelty. And that's not really cool, but at the same time it sort of feels like one of those scientific things. Which I think is part of human nature, you know. We get morbidly curious about things that would be technically taboo. Just because we're curious as to the logistics behind it.
It's open. Let's go.
Oh, right. I was wondering why I was floating in the air there. See, first time I've ever ridden on the top of one of those guys.
Heads up! We've got another Decepticon war machine dead ahead!
Autobots, take it down. Aim for the tap! Aim for the tap!
I am aiming for... Oh, there's another one over here. Oh no, I missed him too. But at least you know where these people are. You'll see them, hopefully. And be like, this is where Sky Demolisher missed. And you'll save them. You'll be the hero that I am not. I am not having a good time with this one, am I? I don't even know if it's dropping the health. Oh yeah, it is. There we go. Fall! Fall!
Thanks, Optimus. We appreciate
Loading
the help.
again. You're welcome, Ironhide. Perhaps we should keep away from the edges there. There we go. Fair enough. Yeah. I wonder if there's going to be any ammo around, so I can't.
That they are. All Autobot communications
I'm out of
funnel
ammo.
through the Decagon hub. It's the lifeline to the entire city.
All the more reason to reach it quickly.
So I really need to find some ammo. Oh. Speak of the devil. Right there. Learn to be more observant, my friend. Use the Force, Luke. Tell you what, if I had to take that shot of the Death Star, I would have missed. Oh, there. See ya! Look at all this energon. But you can't use it. And to think that was the whole reason why the Autobots and the Decepticons left Cybertron to begin with in the original cartoon. Well, actually most cartoons, really. Don't worry, little buddy. I'll get rid of them. Since you don't seem to be. Oh.
We're going to have to ride the turbines
Ah,
to
you
reach
see
the other
that?
side.
See, you guys, you can't 360 no-scope like me. I didn't even play those games, and I know those terms. This, I think, is the area I was talking about. Not this exact area, but this one. You don't see me pointing, so that was really pointless to point. But this is the area that has that, you know, that jumping thing I mentioned at the start.
Of experiencing my rule, I shall not be denied. Citizens of Iacon, I, Megatron, have destroyed your unworthy leader, Zeta Prime. Now, you have the privilege
Focus on one, completely missed the other one. Oh no. See ya! And that's what happens when you touch raw energon. As we go on to learn in Beast Wars.
Going to have to ride the turbines to reach the other side.
Sounds like fun!
You say that now. But when you make a mistake, it really puts you off. Because I died, at least I know where I'm going this time. Whoops. Wow. What's the bet I can't get back up? Oh wow. I actually did it. Ha! And you thought you could beat me, game. No. I will beat you. He says as he goes on to undoubtedly die again because he's not paying attention to what he's doing and he mistimes the jump. Whoops. Stop shooting me. I'm trying to give a monologue. That probably would have been the right... Oh no, I'll go for this one actually. Yeah. I know they're around here somewhere. See, I just turned in time to see him die. It's like a merry-go-round. A merry-go-round of death. And I am the Grim Reaper. How rude. I am trying to talk to people here, and you guys shoot me in the face. I mean, how rude. Really? 'Tis butter scratch. Butter scratch. Butt scratch.
Come on, guys.
That was very
Almost
immature.
there.
Autobots,
I apologize.
Lock and load. Taking back the Decagon won't be easy.
Now, as far as I remember, the Decagon was not actually a thing in the original series. Later on, it's like the seat of power. Which is kind of understandable. I mean, look at that. That's pretty awesome. More Autobots. More ruins. More Cybertron. Wall. Admire the wall with me. No, don't. See that?
Optimus, your path is clear. I'll move on and flank the Decepticons in the northern sector.
You have
If only Ratchet was a shark,
good
then I could say I jumped the shark. That was a horrible pun. I apologize. Serious face. And then had to look down to make sure I actually remembered to turn the microphone back on because I had to cough a second ago. And it would be just my luck that I'd forget to do it. Get away from the explosive stuff, man. Be aware of your surroundings. What have I been saying this whole time? Hello. See? Be aware of your surroundings.
This one has a good weight.
Yes, it does. And now you learn the valuable lesson of why you want to be careful with your weapons. Because I might get my hands on them. And then once I've got my hands on them, you will eventually fall at my feet.
Reinforcements inbound. Take cover.
I nominate myself the new leader. And I promote you to the rank of dead. Now, I'm not sure if these are actually meant to be like original primes or just Cybertronian leaders or something. Casually being a tourist while my allies get shot. Okay, well, I'm just going to say that was actually not intended. Ironhide!
They fly apart real nice, don't they?
Yep.
I'm not gonna stand there like this all day! Thanks, Ironhide.
Optimus, the communication grid is located at the top of the Decagon. We need to find a...
You've got the schematics, Ratchet. Lead the way. Systems recharging.
So this is where like conserving your ammo can be really, really handy. If I had been a bit more careful with my aiming before, I'd have more shells to spend on killing these guys. He gives that speech after wasting more and more bullets because he wasn't actually aimed at what he was shooting at.
The elevator's wrecked. We'll need to find another way up.
Why does that not surprise me? I mean, really, I pay all this money to live here and they just don't maintain the apartment for me. Buff. I should have remembered that. Prime has a special ability that buffs or debuffs. It buffs us, it debuffs enemies.
Death to Autobots!
Yes, I really need the others to get in on this. There we go. All I need is a nice clean shot of that backpack. It's all good.
That should keep me going.
But if you don't have that clean shot, well, it doesn't really matter what you do.
Wow, this place is unbelievable.
There. That's the main terminal for the communication
good.
grid. We can reactivate it by aligning the data streams. I think. Oh, theory anyway.
Oh. Unfortunately, this is one of those ones where you actually need a weapon more like this so that you can move them. I don't think the sniper's got the grunt to do it. Bit of pushback or something.
Good job. The grid is back online. Let's get to the broadcast room up top so we can reconnect Iacon's defenses.
The elevator's busted. How do we get up there?
We could ride the Energon shell capacitors instead. Might take a little longer, but it should work.
Let's do it. Then we can strike back at the Decepticons in full force.
Bye, Bumblebee. He'll be along. Eventually. Probably. Should really be a bit more careful here, because I mean that is like raw energy and stuff. I mean, I'm sure most of us by now have learnt that you don't really play with electricity. Electricity is full of ouch. In saying that, I don't think I've ever really been... Well, I've had static electrocution, but never electrocuted. No, actually I have electrocuted myself, but... my memories of electrocuting myself are not very... clear. Certainly done it. I've been hit by more cars than I have electrocuted myself though. Not that I'm saying that, you know, you should go out and electrocute yourself because you'll probably survive. No. That would be like the most horrible piece of advice I could ever give someone. Oh, you know, yeah, you'll probably be alright. Oh, nah, she'll be right, mate. Yeah, no. Electrocution is bad. Most of the time you will die. And again, you know, if you get struck by lightning, it's not just statistically speaking that you are more likely to be struck by lightning again, it actually changes you physically. Unless the science has changed. But a while ago the science was that it physically changes you because you've conducted electricity, you know, you've conducted the electricity of lightning before. So it sort of signals to other lightning bolts to come that you are very good at conducting a lightning bolt.
Multiple gunshot wounds definitely make a statement.
Yes, that bolt. I mean, they do, but it's okay for us. It's not okay for a human. I mean, like, sure, you see it in the films and stuff, but if you actually get shot, it's generally going to leave, like, nerve damage and other stuff that you don't ever really recover from. Not that I'm speaking from experience or from the experience of shooting people to know that, but yeah. Just sitting around and listening to people's stories and stuff. Soldiers and that, yeah. You hear about it. See? Prime has sort of like a tiny Autobot insignia on his back, but it looks kind of stoned. Oh. I thought we had cloakers, but we don't. No, that's one of ours. Yeah. Easy to tell. They're red. Red is us, and purple is them. Whereas purple is us if we're Decepticons. Yeah. I'm having a very bad run with ammo today. I don't think we've had any other Let's Play where I have run out of ammo or come too low ammo so many times. I mean, it's okay that I've got, like, other weapons. That's handy. That's the thing with... oh, there's ammo there. That's alright. You don't want to run out of ammo because, you know, it's that Murphy's Law thing. When you're low on ammo, you need it. And then you'll go into something and it will be like, oh, it's a big boss fight. Oh, you don't have enough ammo, or you don't have enough mana or health potions or whatever it is you need to actually survive it. The law of Murphy can be a most horrible thing. I don't know why this is not registering me. I'm sure this is the area I need. Like, obviously it's like, this is where I need to go. Why are you not letting me? I mean, I'm not 35 meters away from it. Not 28 meters away from it. Not 29 meters. I'm right in front of it. Methinks that we have encountered a bug. So, forgive me. Man, this is... Oh my god. I was like, this is a very long fall for something that should kill me. We're right at the start again. It didn't kill me. Ah. Over here. Oh man. Any other game, guaranteed, that would have killed me. Welcome to Murphy's Law. Maybe this teaches me a lesson about standing around waffling. Oh, hello. Goodbye. Whoops. Thought we almost ended up going down again. Look, Mum, I'm part of the claw machine. I've won an Optimus. At least we haven't got that cringy elevator music, eh? We actually get quite nice. I don't know if you can actually hear the soundtrack for this that well. But it's like tribal drums and electric guitar. Totally metal, man. Totally metal. Brutal. Ooh. Can we get there in time? Yes. You know, I was just playing, oh, Decepticon is in there. I was playing, Destiny 2 Forsaken last night. I'm a bit late to the party there, but yeah, I wanted to wait. This reminds me a bit of the, was it the Prison of Elders in the Reef? It wouldn't surprise me if some of the people that worked on Destiny also worked on these games. Now it works. I guess it's because these two were still outside the room at the time.
Perfect. Then we can get back to the fight outside, right?
That's affirmative, Bumblebee.
Optimus, be advised. Starscream is headed your way. We tried to stop them, but Silverbolt and I sustained heavy damage.
Get clear, Jetfire. You've done more than enough already. Autobots, exercise caution. Starscream is as dangerous as he is treacherous.
Just give me a clear shot.
Apologies. I have an itchy ear. And I wear headphones while doing this. Otherwise the microphone would pick up what I'm doing with the TV. So, if you've never recorded gameplay off a TV with something like an Elgato and you want to do this in the future, that's a very valuable lesson. Make sure that your TV is muted, and if you're playing it into a computer or in my case a laptop, make sure that the speakers on that are muted as well.
Trying to restore your precious grid, Autobots? How pathetic.
You have committed crimes against Iacon, Starscream. It's time to pay for them.
Oh, I think not. Optimus, is it? Prepare to die!
Autobots, stay close.
You're no match for the speed and power of Starscream! Luck
lucky shot! Now you've made me angry!
Get used to disappointment, Starscream.
You wouldn't like me when I'm angry. Why? What are you gonna do, Starscream? Turn into the Hulk? I'd make some sort of joke about, like, Infinity Wars or something here, but just full honesty, I haven't seen it. Not that I dislike the Marvel films, just I can't be bothered. You know, hiring them or whatever. I won't buy DVDs, or well, I don't actually own any Blu-rays, but technically I only really bother to buy DVDs and stuff when they're cheap. This reminds me of that, what was it? Katy Perry. Was it Katy Perry? You know that, I'm not going to say that baby you're a firework thing. That's what he looks like when he's spinning around like that. You're a firework. Like that. Firework. He's almost dead anyway. He said, oh, there we go. Just as I ran out of ammo.
You'll see me again, Autobots! That's a promise!
Run, you yellow-plated coward!
Good.
Coming
work,
from the
Autobots.
person that is yellow-plated.
Now, let's coordinate the city's defenses.
To anyone receiving this broadcast, this is Zeta Prime. I am being held captive in Megatron's Kaon prison complex.
Prime is alive. Ratchet, home in on that signal and boost it. On it.
I am downloading vital information that could help the Autobots win the war. Hurry, Autobots. I don't know how much longer I have.
Optimus, let's go! We have to save Zeta Prime!
That wasn't Zeta Prime, Optimus. It couldn't be. The message carried his unique data signature, Ratchet.
Perhaps, but we both saw the wreckage of what Megatron did to him. No one could survive that.
Even if there is the smallest possibility that Zeta is alive, we must act.
Optimus, it's a trap. Surely you see that.
A chance we'll have to take. Hang on, Zeta, my friend. I have a plan.
And that is the end of part 6. The next episode will be chapter 7 or part 7, Kaon Prison Break. And Kaon is the capital, or was the capital for the Decepticons in the comics. Never mentioned in the TV series. Don't think it really existed back then. A lot of Cybertron got fleshed out later. Anyway, so our options for the next one are Optimus, Sideswipe, and Bumblebee. I hope that you enjoyed it. Please like and subscribe. Perhaps share it with your friends if you think they'll like it too. And next week we will be into part 7. Links down below to Facebook and Twitter for voting on which character you would like to see. Again, that's Optimus, Sideswipe, or Bumblebee. There is no Sunstreaker if you're hoping for a Sunstreaker in this. If you want a yellow robot, you're going to have to go for Bumblebee. And if I end up with like a tie thing between Optimus and Bumblebee, I'm just going to say here it will be Bumblebee, because I think just because we're played as Optimus, if it ends up in a tie, it's only fair that we play as Bumblebee, so that people get to see Bumblebee if they want to see Bumblebee. Yeah. So, until next time, take care of yourselves. Bye.